You see the videos that I have on the screen? Yeah, I already had those thumbnails ready, so just stay calm and we'll get those done as soon as possible. For now, I want to take a break from editing because it literally kills me to just kind of sit there and record for like 20 minutes. Makes it all so boring, but that's besides the point. I recently just put a post up on YouTube saying, alright, I decided after a quick Q&A, I'll go back to uploading my important sets next week. Then I'll finalize all of the Winter Championship videos with a recap video, which hopefully won't take a week to edit. Ask me stuff. Everything said here will be answered next upload. And you guys actually gave up your answers, so let's get started. What are your thoughts on Greatsword? Should it be buffed, nerfed, or even reworked in some aspect? Also, I'm glad you're gonna be back uploading. Good luck for you. First of all, I appreciate it. Putting some effort into my uploads is usually the one thing that I actually want to do instead of posting really repetitive sets that for some reason get the most views. So, that's besides the point. In short, I believe that Greatsword is actually not a bad weapon, but it's definitely not the best because the way that it's actually supposed to work just isn't working. As of recently, since the update, that actually came to Greatsword when it got gutted for the first time. Not gutted, just reworked into a genuinely fair weapon. There was a problem that induced it to actually lose a lot of its combos, or a lot of its strings in a way where they would all drop. Interesting, but nonetheless, when it all works, it's actually one of the most invasive weapons in the game. I can say that with a lot of confidence too, because I think Greatsword is kind of in the same reign as a lot of string weapons, like Katars. If you ever get the chance to actually do your on-hit fanatics, like on-hit techniques. Sidelight and light, super good. When the strings work, it's really good, but this is in the case that we're in a perfect world where that doesn't happen, but it does, so unfortunate. In short, I do believe it's a good weapon though. Next question. Who would you main if Kaya didn't exist? By the way, very good content, keep it up. Appreciate it. I believe that I definitely would have and am continuing to go with Ember. I can't say for sure that I'm letting go of Kaya entirely because I still need that cheat code into Lance, which is Spear. However, I really do struggle a lot against Katars and Blasters and Orb in certain scenarios when I'm playing Spear, and I've realized it's been a lot of the reason for my diminishing confidence with my character. It's not even the startup that really got to me, but it seems like I'm not really definitive in my options because in today's time a lot of players actually have really good movement. The playstyle just kind of doesn't really sit in for the use of Spear because, well, the trade-off for having so much priority on Spear is that you have a lot of recovery frames. And it sounds like a stretch to say that Spear has recovery frames, but look at it in comparison to a bunch of other weapons. Then it starts to make sense, especially with the weapon pool that we have in today's time. So if I'm not playing Kaya, I'm definitely playing Ember, and most likely you will be seeing the Ember in spring, so just watch out for that. Swag Like Ohio asks, what helps you stay calm under intense pressure? Almost laughed at the name just now, but nothing can really stop you from losing your nerves. I will say though, this is when having a religion actually does help. A lot of the time before my matches, I would usually just pray like internally to God and such related. It helps kind of put this reassurance that regardless of what it is that you're doing, that you make it so that you can try your best. Ewan Kendon asks, what happened between the tournament before BCX and BCX that caused you to win? Well, with Autumns, it was actually extremely difficult for me to really fixate on anything. As soon as I had that qualifier for top 8 winners, in Autumns, I actually couldn't really focus because these were both qualifiers for 5th place. I've talked about this before, but I was basically just trying very hard to claw my way into top 5 so I could actually discuss the tournaments with my parents. I believe that if I was going to go to BCX, then it would actually be under a good placement. But unfortunately, when you think about the placement way before you actually win, you end up really losing a lot of your playstyle and the way that you're supposed to act as you normally would in tournament. So whenever I went to BCX, once you get that opportunity to actually want, or like once you're in that opportunity where you feel like you didn't really deserve it, but you're still going to said event anyways, you try extra hard for the win. And I feel like that really helped me because I felt significantly less distracted. Next question. What are your binds /training routine? I got you. I'm gonna launch the game right now and actually show you. Okay, so as I was editing, I realized that I was looking over the audio and turns out that it used my webcam audio. I tried fixing that, but nothing's actually working, so. A bit. And then after that, we tried to. I'll just put the prompt with the controls right here. I feel stuck and feel like I don't get better. Do I still push through until I get better at Brawl? If you're very passionate about the game, then I think you should still make the effort and just continue asking for help. Continue or start asking for help, because that's where I got a good source of my improvement, because you can't just really improve on your own. Collector asks, how did you get into Brawlhalla? This one is, it always takes me back, because this is when the menu was like 5 or 6 little buttons on the screen, and it didn't have like this, and it had like, I think was this Asgardian like ring in the background. Honestly, just so nostalgic, truly. But I got into Brawlhalla from my brother, who introduced it to me back in, I think, 2016 on this new computer that we got that was like a touchscreen like PC, all in one, by the way. And he played Taros and I picked up Diana, because those are the 2 characters that were on rotation that day. And since then I honestly have not looked back. I will say though, I think I like pissed him off a couple times, because I used to switch between green and purple Diana and ask him if I should play Green Arrow or Hawkeye, and I also thought Diana was a guy for some reason. But yeah, it introduced me to Brawlhalla in a way where I had a lot of fun. Mashing a bunch of SIGs is pretty fun too. It was just like, I did pick up the game just casually for those areas of the game, but yeah, that's how I got into Brawlhalla, and I'm definitely grateful for that opportunity that kind of came across. Last but not least, any tips for if you want to be a pro at Brawlhalla? One of the most important tips that I give a lot of the people that I've coached is to make sure that you maintain playing one specific character. For me, it's always been Kaya. For Cody Travis, it's always been Braza. For Sandstorm, it's always been Mordex. And for Boomy, it's usually been Blasters, but he's had enough game experience where he could branch out to other weapons similar. The thing is, you have to be an expert at your own character. You have to be a specialist, because if you're not a specialist, then you start to lose confidence in certain scenarios, because you just don't really have that kind of game experience with a certain character. It doesn't help to continuously switch picks. Even if something is considered more broken, it doesn't really matter if, well, let's say you know how to do a true combo on one character, but you don't know how to do this broken string on another, because you just don't have that game experience. So it's important to acknowledge that even if a character's broken or better than the other, it's always better to just stick with the legend that you've always been comfortable with, because it ends up in this unhealthy cycle of, I suppose, believing that your character is part of the problem. I hope you guys were somewhat appreciative of what I uploaded today. I know Q&As aren't really my thing, so weekly uploads based on the normal content that I do will resume after a while. So, alright, peace.
Bye. Bye. Yeah.